Using play to connect with your child. In order to use play to connect with your child, it can be helpful to understand some of the different types and stages of play. There are other stages and other ways to categorize play, but this is a helpful place to start. Exploratory play develops early on and helps facilitate social connection, attachment, and figuring out how the world works. Some examples could be an infant rolling, sucking on her hands, or reaching for her parents' faces. Functional play is play according to the design of an object. For example, a block is a block. A book is a book. It's very concrete. Symbolic play is when you use an object as something else besides what it's meant for. So the block is now a car. The book is a tunnel for the car to go through. Constructive play includes things like drawing, completing puzzles, and building. Imaginative play creates scripts for play that have parallels in life. For example, my son recently began racing his motorcycles up and down the couch, and they argue over who gets to go first. Me first. No, me first. And they go back and forth and back and forth. And this parallels some of the conflict that he's been having with his sister, wanting to always be the first one to get in their chair for snack. You also have rough and tumble play, which includes wrestling or being thrown onto the couch or dropping onto a mattress, running and slamming into the walls or other people, or those big and very physical movements are all considered rough and tumble play. There's also rule-based play. Duck, duck, goose, tag, hide and seek, board games, all of those things can be considered rule-based. Finally, you have social play. This is based in stories, dress-up, role play. For example, playing house or playing meals, loading pretend food onto plates and sharing it with other kids or with you. That's all social play. Here's some examples of common games and the way that they could be interpreted based on these stages. Simon Says. This is a social game and a rule-based game. Another example could be Red Rover. This is a social game. You need to play it with other people. You cannot play it by yourself, but it's very rule-based. And it's also a rough and tumble game. Red Rover, send Jenny right over. And then Jenny has to run and try and crash through the arms of the other players. Sports are another good example of rule-based, often social, and often rough and tumble play. Think about football, lacrosse, basketball. Those are all social. They have really strict rules. There's physical contact. Even if there's not supposed to be, there's going to be, especially for kids as they're learning and as they're growing and starting to understand the world. So, with that understanding, how do you use play to connect with your child? It can be helpful to first identify what kind of play they are engaging in and enjoying, and then by joining in and following their rules. Let them set the tone and the pace of play. Avoid asking too many questions like, what color is that? Do you like the car? Where is the car going? Can you count the blocks? And then try not to direct the play, unless, of course, there's a safety concern. There is a time and place for you to influence the play, but when focusing on connection, let your child be in charge. And this will look different with different kids at different developmental stages. Each child is going to have their own preferences and their own styles of play and connecting, and it's important to learn to recognize and to follow those cues. Another way to use play to connect with your child is to use your voice, your body language, and your tone to show that you are interested in the play. Remember, you are also modeling social cues and communication through the way you are interacting with your child. You can use your voice to talk really high and really low, be really loud and be really quiet. Using opposites and extremes can be a fun way to build excitement during play, especially when paired with body language. Some of the things that you can use with your body language to build excitement and connection during play. First, leave your phone in your pocket or even in the other room if you can. I often find myself checking my notifications, looking at the time, or even scrolling through Instagram instead of being present with my kids. Making a conscious choice to set aside time, even 10 minutes, to play with your child goes a long way to building that connection. When playing together, pay attention to both your body language and your child's. Some children respond well to big, exaggerated movements, while others prefer more subtle and calm interactions. Experiment with facing your child directly during play or sitting side by side. Some children may also benefit from playing side by side in front of a mirror. This may provide a lower demand on the child by letting them watch the play in the mirror instead of having to watch you and interact with you directly. When thinking about your tone, match your child. If your child is excited, be excited with them. If they're getting frustrated with the game, if the blocks keep falling down, or they just got skipped during Uno, or the other team scored a point, you may try and be more subdued and empathetic. It's important to know your child and adjust your approach. For some children, it may be too overwhelming for you to match their level of excitement, while others may crave that extra enthusiasm, and this may also change over time. Be patient with your child and yourself as you learn together what styles of play lead to the best connection. For more suggestions and advice on how to use play to connect with your child, please talk to your child's occupational therapist. They can give you more customized and specific advice, recommendations, and tools that you can use to build a connection and relationship with your child. Thank you for watching.